For the second episode of Faker's Best Moments, we have to talk about the most iconic play in his entire career.
Oh, look at the class, look at the move!
And honestly, maybe in all of League of Legends.
Faker, what was that?
The legendary 1v1 Z mirror match against Ryu. One of the most viewed clips in esports history. And for good reasons. Today, we're diving into the story behind this insane play and breaking down how Faker pulled off the impossible. Now, did you know this wasn't just some flashy solo queue outplay? This moment happened during the grand finals of the Champions Summer 2013, basically Korea's crown jewel tournament at the time. The winner of this best of 5 not only becomes Korea's summer champion, but also qualifies for Worlds. We're talking career-defining stakes. The series goes the full 5 games. And here is the twist. Back then, Game 5s were played in blind pick. Yep, you could pick the same exact champion as your opponent. And that's how we ended up with Z versus Z. Faker versus Ryu, two of the best mid laners in the world, in one of the highest skill matchup you could possibly get. Let's be real, today's mid lane often looks like Orianna versus Victor or Syndra, just two control mages waving at each other for 15 minutes. But in Season 3, Zed was king, and this was the perfect storm. Let's fast forward to the actual moment. SKT T1 is already massively ahead with a 13k gold lead. Unless they completely throw, the game is basically in the bag. But Faker and Ryu, they are still quite close in gold. The real gap is in the bot lane and the top lane. When Faker splits mid while SKT pressures bot, Ryu sees an opportunity. He knows his team is losing, the bot inhibitor is about to fall. So his only shot is to kill Faker on the tower and somehow force a miracle turnaround. And here is where we dig into the details that made this 1v1 legendary. Both players have the standard Season 3 Z build, Blade of the Rune King and Last Whisper, plus a Brutalizer. But Faker has one more item, the Quicksilver Sash, or QSS, and that changes everything. At the time, QSS could remove Zed's death mark, his ultimate, which means Faker can cleanse Ryu's ultimate, but Ryu cannot do the same. So here is how it all plays out. Ryu engages with his W Shadow combo, landing E to slow and damage Faker. He follows up with Blade of the Rune King active, which, fun fact, no longer exists in 2025, chunking Faker even more. Faker backs off, then ults to dodge Ryu's incoming auto, and Ryu's ults in response, confident this fight is over. At this point, it should be checkmate, but Faker has other plans. He uses his R Shadow reactivation to create distance from Ryu's ult Shadow. Now Ryu can't auto-attack, he has to hit his shurikens to finish the kill. Ryu throws his shuriken, and that's when Faker does the unthinkable. He flashes the shuriken, he activates the QSS at the same time, and cleanses the death mark. Ryu, now desperate, flashes forward for one last auto, but Faker still hasn't used his W, remember? And he snaps back behind Ryu with his W, out of range, and drops an E to finish him off. Ryu falls, the crowd explodes, the casters lose their minds.
Faker, what was that? Faker with a huge play.
And Faker becomes Korea's champion in his rookie year with one of the greatest outplays in league history. Of course, this win sends Faker and SKT T1 to Worlds 2013, where they would go on to dominate, sweeping Royal Club in the finals and claiming their first world title. I hope you enjoyed this small breakdown of the most famous 1v1 in League history. If you love iconic plays like this, go check out my video on XPK's backdoor, another legendary moment that helped define what makes League of Legends so damn unforgettable. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.